Hi everybody, and welcome to another video of vintage TV and radio stuff. And today I have a couple of smaller radios to show you that I found during a thrifting trip in our area yesterday. One's a Panasonic AM radio, the other is a Sanyo AM FM clock radio. And we'll begin with the smaller Panasonic AM radio from back in the late 60s to around 1970. This is the model R-1077 portable AM radio made by Panasonic around 1970 or so. 7 transistors in it, and Panasonic has an interesting history going all the way back to the turn of the century in the 1900s. It was originally a light bulb socket manufacturer back in 1918 and began to expand their manufacturing to other objects and other electronic things up until World War II. At the end of the war, they came back obviously in the mid to late 40s, began to introduce consumer electronics to the U.S. in the 50s, and they're still they're still in business. It's called Panasonic Holdings Company right now, and of course you can find out more about that by heading to your favorite browser and checking it out on the internet. But let's begin by taking a look at the front of this radio. It has the AM dial on it, and on the right side here is where you do the tuning. Very simple process, just going back and forth like that. Speaker right there, of course. Handy carrying strap on the right side. Here on the right you have your on and off and volume control, along with a small mini plug headphone jack. And here is the back. Not a whole lot going on back here, just the description of the headphone jack and the on-off volume control. And I think you can read the bottom, hopefully. It just gives the model number and the fact that it's made by the Matsushita Electric Industrial Company Limited and made in Japan. And you'll also note that cool old-fashioned Panasonic logo in the front of the radio. I used to have a cassette recorder that had that same logo from back in the early 70s as well. And the Panasonic font style there is pretty cool too. Little better shot of the tuner there and the AM dial. And here's a quick look inside the radio itself. You see all the different guts in there. Of course, we use the Dollar Tree transistor battery because we use the best. And this case does not come off completely. You can see it's kind of held together by a wire that goes from the radio to the earphone jack. Okay, I'm going to try this radio away from my lights. The lights tend to kind of mess up the signal here a little bit, so I'm just going to turn it on away from those lights and close to a window here and see if I can get something.
And 29 triple doubles this year. Yep. Embiid had 1.
This is our local AM station here in town.
So the fatigue.
So that comes in pretty good.
In charge, if you're one of those few writers or broadcasters in charge of awards.
Sounds pretty good. Not too scratchy as far as the volume control is concerned. Not too bad for a radio that was made back in like 1970. So this is the Panasonic radio that I bought, and I got it from a place. I'll show the business card in a couple of seconds here. And here is the card right here. It's the Thrifty Drifter in Eagle River, Wisconsin. Cool place to go if you happen to be in the area vacationing later in the summer and you come to northern Wisconsin. I got this at the Thrifty Drifter. Got a really good deal out of it. I think she charged me $8 for this, so that's a pretty cool price. So that's the Panasonic model R-1077 AM radio, made back in around 1970. Also, as we were driving around the Eagle River area, we stopped off at a thrift store and found this little object. And this happens to be a Sanyo AM/FM clock radio. It's the model number RPM-C2, made by Sanyo back in the mid-'80s. And ironically, Sanyo was bought out by Panasonic in 2011. As you can see, we've got an analog clock, which is pretty cool, and the AM/FM band, the speaker in the front, nice little carrying strap to the left. Your tuning and your volume controls, antenna, and off, on, and auto. When you put it on auto, that's when the alarm clock worked. And here in the back, you've got the band selector, AM or FM. You've got an earphone jack. You've got some more information about the model number and such. You've got also the radio and alarm switch on the left there, where you could wake up with the radio or with an alarm. Then you had the time setting mechanism there. You had to pull out to set the time and push it in to set the alarm. One battery here for the clock, AA, 3 AA's for the radio itself. So let me illustrate how you set the time. You have to pull out that little button and turn it to set the time. Let's make it, there we go. Let's make it 2 o'clock, if I can do that. Then you had to push in to turn that little red thing to get it set to go off for your alarm system. Basic, old-fashioned 60s method of setting your alarm clock. So let's turn it on. Let's see what we get here. I think we have it on the FM band. I will raise the antenna a touch, turn it up, let's see what we get. Come on. This doesn't want to move out that way, apparently. Either goes back or forth, does not spin around.
Cancel all those plans. Instead,
I was a high school loser, never made it with the ladies till the boys told me suck my miss.
So, it's coming in pretty good.
Maher Water Corporation for
So the FM band works pretty good. Let's flip it out AM now. It's kind of scratchy here. There we go. See if we get anything with the lights and everything in the way. Okay, not too bad. I mean, if I took it away from the lights, they would come in just fine and dandy, I'm sure. So let's go ahead and test this alarm thing here. I think I have it set on radio right now. Yep. So let's put it on auto. And I'm pretty sure we've hit our 2 o'clock thing here. And now we'll flip it to alarm, if I can do that. It's kind of hard to do it. Let me turn it off first or something to do that. Well, this is really hard to do. There we go. Okay, now let's try setting the clock for 3 o'clock. Hang on, everybody. A little hard to do when I'm aiming it toward the camera. Okay, now let's. There we go. Now there's your beep. No snooze alarm button, by the way. No, turning it off with the snooze alarm. You have to just turn it off. And the fact that you had a alarm clock and radio with a little carrying strap was also a little different, I guess. But anyway, this is something I found at a thrift store in northern Wisconsin. I think I paid $2 for this one because it wasn't priced yet, and the guy said, I don't know, $2. I said, sounds good to me. So there you go. This is the Sanyo model RPM C2 from back in the mid-'80s. And those are the two radios I found over the weekend when we were out thrifting in sleet and snow. Yeah, it takes a while for spring to come to the north woods of Wisconsin. I'll let you know that much. So that's our video for today. If you have any comments, leave them below. Like the video and subscribe to the channel, and we'll have more vintage TV and radio stuff down the road. Thanks for watching.